hGlobal TV subscribe.
Global Mafia, what's the deal? What we own? Today, I got another compilation of non-mainstream, non-biased media, information, news, I'm going to bring to you direct, no bias. We going to disassociate from that indoctrination the system been giving us all our lives and get straight to the truth. No more set of lies that was agreed upon. We going to get to these narratives and I'm going to give my ideology on it. Drop them globes in the chat. You here for a reason, hit that subscribe button. It's Sunday. Let's kick back, enjoy these videos, and get this information.
Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
So aliens are real?
Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
Well,
he made a big mistake.
So Trump says Obama gave classified information in a recent interview when he said aliens do exist.
Aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51.
Area 51. There's no underground facility.
And now Trump is saying, based on tremendous interest shown, he will be directing Hexeth and other relevant agencies, and I quote, to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomenon, UAPs, and unidentified flying objects, UFOs, and any and all information connected to those highly complex but extremely interesting and important matters. And I want to talk about some very important matters. At this point in time, Congress has even said that there's probably aliens living in our ocean. But I want to know is who are all those names that are blacked out on all those files that you just recently released? Because to me, it still looks like the government is protecting all their rich buddies and rich donors. And I would like to know who's doing all those horrific things, because I'm pretty sure it's not fucking aliens. So instead of trying to release Project Bluebeam on the public, maybe tell us who all those names are.
I hate conspiracy theories that run amok. But you know, a former CIA director is the one who came up with the term conspiracy theory. And it was a way for the CIA to discredit people by making them sound like crazy people, when in fact there was such a thing called MK Ultra. There was such a thing called, Operation Grasshopper or MK Chickwit, or the CIA did crazy stuff from roughly 1952 to 1975.
Or the Tuskegee experiment, Project Bluebeam. The list goes on.
For example, they experimented with a virus that they released in San Francisco. They waited for an unusually foggy, like heavily foggy day. They released it into the atmosphere just to see if it would make people sick. And 11 people went to the emergency room with this rare upper respiratory infection. And then they were like, high fives. Yeah.
So all the people who steal with lack of information, lack of knowledge, or just stubbornness, who still think the government has your best interests at mind, your kids also, think again. Conspiracy theories are just the truth.
That's true. It's going to be like an AI freaking Bruce Springsteen. There'll be an AI Lana Del Rey. There'll be an AI freaking Adele. Yeah, and it's gonna sound great. People like it, and you're gonna go see it perform live. And the team that makes the live performance is gonna be it's gonna be dope. And then there's gonna be human lived experience that you're still gonna love. It's not doom and gloom for the music industry.
Food habits linked to psychology. Craving crunchy foods often signals suppressed anger or tension because crunching releases stress. Late night snacking is linked to loneliness and boredom more than hunger. People who prefer spicy food tend to seek stronger sensations and novelty. Emotional eaters often crave warm foods because warmth is associated with comfort and safety. Eating while distracted leads to weaker memory of the meal, making you feel hungry sooner. People who always finish their plate often grow up with food scarcity or strict mealtime rules. Sweet cravings increase during emotional lows because sugar boosts serotonin temporarily. Those who skip breakfast are more likely to make impulsive food choices later in the day. Comfort foods are usually tied to childhood memories, not taste alone. People who eat the same meal repeatedly often use food as a control anchor in busy lives. Craving salty foods can rise during stress because sodium helps regulate stress hormone. Eating slowly is associated with better emotional regulation and lower anxiety. And people who snack constantly are often responding to mental fatigue, not physical hunger.
Elon warning, listen.
I agree with the principles that Jesus advocated, and that there's great wisdom in the teachings of Jesus, and I agree with those teachings. And things like turn the other cheek are very important, because as opposed to an eye for an eye leaves everyone blind. So forgiveness, is important, and treating people as you would wish to be treated. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Very important.
Interesting post from Elon Musk earlier today.
Everything he named on that list is extremely important, but from my recollection, I didn't think Elon believed in the creator or Jesus in particular. I'm not gonna lie. But I don't know if he's trying to humanize himself or he really believes that. How y'all feel about that? I ain't mad at it at all.
Still not a vampire? Like, still. How is this possible? I don't even know if he might look younger here than he does here. But am I bugging?
Fake animals. In the 1970s, the CIA developed what they called the Insectothopter, which was a drone the size of a dragonfly and hand-painted to look like one. It was kept secret until December 2003, when it was revealed to the public at the CIA museum, and the project was abandoned because it was too difficult to fly in crosswinds.
That was 2003. Imagine what DARPA or Raytheon possesses at this current time.
Another similar project was the AeroVironment Nano Hummingbird, created with specifications given by the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. These weren't the only times they used animals or crafted fake animals to spy on their enemies. During the Cold War, they developed a camera so light that it could be carried by pigeons in order to take aerial photos, and they even trained some of these pigeons to drop eavesdropping devices onto window ledges. However, despite successfully placing some of these devices, no usable audio was captured from them. They even used fake fish to secretly check water samples for the presence of nuclear runoff or other suspicious substances.
The system wasn't built for you to win. You went to school to memorize facts you never use. You were trained to raise your hand, wait your turn, and follow instructions. Then they told you, get a job, work 40 hours a week, give half of it to tax, retire at 67 if you're lucky. That's not a life. That's a script. And most people don't question it because they're too tired from living it. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's when you realize freedom was never going to be handed to you. You have to build it. And that's why I teach digital products, because ownership is the only way out. No boss, no begging, no clocking. You move different when you know the system was never designed to serve you. It was designed to use you. Break the script or stay stuck in it.
I'm going to take this moment to give appreciation to my mom and pop dead homies. Ever since I was 14, 15, I never felt that the system or the way things were situated around my structure, that it was for me. Somebody having an authority over me, me not being able to maneuver as far as in the occupation space that I wanted, I never agreed with that. My parents never discouraged me from doing any of that. I always say, working within the system or trying to prevail within the system, using the tools the system gave you, you'll never be successful how you want to be, or you'll never be as happy as you want to be, because the system was not made for that to happen. The system doesn't possess the capabilities for us to obtain that happiness that we want. We'll always feel betrayed by it.
Conspiracy theories in the world that will seriously change your life. So this right here shows all the conspiracy theories, from the most well-known ones that we all know to the darkest of the dark. This series we're going to be going from the most well-known ones to the darkest of the dark, which will probably keep you up all night. Having to do the research into all of these is probably going to disturb the hell out of me, but you know, I'm doing it for you guys, so make sure you hit that follow button. Part 1, let's go. Today we're going to be talking about Area 51, but not how you think. Trust me, this is wild. This guy right here is Bob Lazar. Now, he used to work at Area 51. Now, Area 51 is, of course, one of the biggest conspiracy theories out there. What is it? Why can't we go near there? Is it just a military base? Bob claims he used to work there, reverse engineering alien craft. Now, this right here is his actual drawing of an alien craft. Yeah, crazy, right? This is where it gets mental. Absolutely mental. I think Area 51 is this place, right? According to Bob, this is not where all the crazy stuff happened. It's actually down the road here, in a place called Area S4. Area S4 is located up in the mountains, completely top secret, and nobody knows really what it is until Bob came out about it. Bob claims he would be taken to Area S4, which is an underground facility where he would work on the alien craft. Put the coordinates into Google and look at this place, it's just crazy. The road which leads straight up to it, the road ends right there, and then there's just like holes in the ground. So there is definitely something there. What I'm saying is all from Bob. There is literally a documentary about this. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix, you may have seen it. Yeah. Let me know what you think, because this is crazy. The series is about to get a whole lot crazier, so make sure you hit that follow button. I'll see you in the next one.
Why do you think we exist? We believe that this is, Matrix. This Matrix bullshit my wife believes. Why you saying the same shit this nigga said? And well done. It's the reason that everything fits together. Like, it would be enough if there was. Do you believe in other lives? You lived other lives? I know that whatever is in our body, whatever that weighs, I know that when it leaves here, it still weighs that in the universe. So it's somewhere. It came to you from somebody? Yes. Wow, right? It came to you from somebody. When it leaves you, it's going to go someone else. Yeah. It's the reason that when you're young, there's a lot of things that you learn that nobody taught you at all. This whole world is just one big school. Right. One big school. And when we die, we're not going to know as much as we died, but even as much as we lived.
I mean, you do some tweets that seem to be, or at least give support to some who would call others conspiracy theories.
Well, yes, but I mean, honestly, some of these conspiracy theories have turned out to be true.
Which ones?
Well, like the Hunter Biden laptop.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that was a pretty big deal. There was Twitter and others engaged in active suppression of information that was relevant to the public. That's a terrible thing that happened. That's like an
This worker tests up to 10,000 vapes a day using his mouth. And it's not to make sure they work. Recently, a YouTube channel, Ma China, was able to get access inside a large vape factory to observe its construction process. And what's crazy is that if you vape, there's a very high chance that it was tested by mouth right here, since a staggering 80% of the world's vapes are produced by factories in Shenzhen, China. Now, the first surprising observation is how much of the vape's construction is done by human hands. The reason being is that there are so many variations of vapes that each would require their own expensive custom tooling. And the second wild observation is that they have one person in the assembly line whose only job is to smoke them. When asked, he said that on average he tests about 7,000 to 8,000 a day, but at peak times it could exceed 10,000. Brother's only job is to get cooked every day. He even said that when he clocks off, he continues smoking after work. And the thing is, it's not to test if they work. That's what this step is for. His job is to make sure that each vape tastes the same. So if there's any that are too sweet or too bitter, etc., they'll take them out the line. And for everyone thinking now that you're locking lips with a Chinese factory worker, don't worry, they say that there is another sterilization process that they take before they ship you your vape.
Your energy. And this is how you can claim it back. They want you going down the rabbit holes like I was. Thinking and acting all night, going down these dead-end conspiracies that make you feel worse than they did before you even understood them. Because your thought power is your energy. When you think, you send energy out of your psychic and electromagnetic field. When you direct your attention outward, energy flows. However, on the other side, when you collapse your attention inward back in on itself, you contain the energy. This energy, this act of turning inward, conserves our mental energy and allowing it to accumulate and strengthen, instead of being constantly scattered through external distractions, thoughts and sensory experiences. This concentrated energy enhances our internal focus, clarity and awareness, and we reclaim our energy just by closing your eyes and turning your awareness back in on itself. You redirect your energy and realign your energy, and this is when you feel healthier, happier and recharged, just by doing this alone. The truth is, they don't want you to use your thought power to create your reality, to create your sovereignty and freedom. They want you to use your thought power, wasting it on dead-end conspiracies and thinking about them all the time, because that's not what gives you power. What gives you power is using your thought energy for conscious creation.
The only way you know a person is not possessed when they always the same, right? If you give them something, thank you, appreciate it. You make them mad, thank you, appreciate it. They not possessed. And listen, possession is having control of your emotions. That means you're not possessed. When you lose control of your emotions, like we were saying earlier, when you don't align them and you let them control you, you're now possessed. Who in the world not moving off their feelings? Everybody in the world saying, "This is how I feel." So everybody in the world possessed. A lot of people don't know. That's what's deep about it, right? And it's just part of the human brain that's sad but true, right? Because like a lot of people that's living nowadays don't know that they possess, right? Because they had their memories. You still have your memories, but you don't have control of your body, right? People do say, "I don't know why I did that," because their reaction time is slow, because you kick in too slow, because you are fully possessed. A lot of people, they don't kick in. I know niggas that'll kill you, pow, 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 pow. Never think about it. It never kick in. The real you never kick in. So the whole time you possessed by this lower level entity that we all know and call the devil. But if that same entity can take over the same body, but in a good way, them two entities gotta be connected.
ABC Digital wanted to give you the opportunity to swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon. Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
Gentlemen. Mr. Seibel.
Yes? If you really walked on the moon, why would you not do that? So why don't you just put the into the record in the argument and put your hand on the Bible, swear to God you walked on the moon.
Mr. Seibel, knowing you, that's probably a fake Bible.
Really? Well, no, it's a real Bible. You have the opportunity to have $5,000.
The meeting is not open.
Well, you have $5,000 cash. You can give it to charity if you swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon.
Please
I have
give
the
it to
tape.
charity. It'd be fine.
Why don't you swear to? Why not? Why won't you do it? So why don't you put your hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
Mr. Seibel has made a fool of himself in front of the world. Mr. Seibel, you do not deserve answers.
Else knew that the singer Mario openly practices witchcraft and openly promotes the spirit of divination. The way he tried to make this seem normal is crazy, sick, and dangerous.
So when you say witchcraft, I don't think people critically think about how much witchcraft and what witchcraft actually represents and what it means, right? When you say it to a person who understands occult knowledge, and when I say that, I just mean the things that most people don't study, right? That's something that means you practice certain rituals based on intentions that have certain outcomes. You want to call it witchcraft? Cool. You want to call it spirituality? Cool. But I think that when people say, "Oh, that's witchcraft," it's because they don't understand that they also are involved in witchcraft and don't even know it in life. People performing on them, commercials performing on you. There's so much going on that people don't understand. I'm a person who like to bring things to the light slowly.
It seems like it's not even a priority. It's part of the job description for you to practice either witchcraft, voodoo, or some form of Satanism for you to be successful in the industry and have a career of longevity.
And I don't mind people judging it what they don't understand. It's fine. I'm here. I'm a teacher. I'm a student and a teacher at the same time. So what you saw me carrying was a staff with a bunch of crystals on it that all work.
Who do you look at from afar and perceive to be controlled by evil spirits?
I remember you go to DC and you just feel it. Yeah. What is this demonic place? This place is the playground of the demons. To name one person would be to not do justice to the... Have you ever looked at the occult artwork at DOJ?
Why is there occult artwork at the Department of Justice?
They take their religion seriously. We might not take our religion seriously, but they take it seriously. They have a god. Their God isn't our God. Their God's the anti and the inverse of our God, but they absolutely have a religion. It's mortifying.
That's why they placed an eye in a triangle. Not because it represents Satan or Lucifer, but because it represents the three ways the soul expresses its energy, through thought, emotion, and action: the brain, the heart, and the physical body. If you think randomly, it will lead to random emotions and actions. You need to stay conscious of your thoughts, emotions, and actions in order to create a reality that you want. That's why there is an eye in the middle. The eye is open, representing staying aware. Staying aware of your thoughts, emotions, and actions is what leads to conscious creation. Most people act, think, and feel randomly, and randomly create their reality, and wonder why there is so much chaos. These are your 3 powers that you hold 100% control over. If you try and control anything else but these 3 powers, you are breaking natural law.
And these boys playing. They rigging the game with black magic, Cam. I know this for a fact. They rigging the game, man. They making these sacrifices to these, whatever they are. We see people in Congress coming out and say, oh, it's not aliens, it's extra dimensionals. And you see Hillary Clinton filing FOIA to get the location of Gilgamesh's tomb. This stuff was supposed to be fake. Gilgamesh is a fallen angel, which would make him, what, a demon? Why is he filing FOIA requests for his burial site? And they found the burial site. You know, BBC came out with this story years ago with the actual footage from this place. And everything they told us was fake has turned out to be true.
And that's a good one to wrap it up on. We're going to finish on that. Facts are indeed stranger than fiction. It's a nefarious world we live in. It's definitely a spiritual battle going on. As you see, they believe in their side 1,005%. So we got to have faith and believe in our side just the same. That being said, remember, one person will never know everything, but as a collective, we can figure it out. All money ain't good money. Slow motion better than no motion. I am your humble host, Cash, capital K, $ for the S.
Running from the pain, they keep catching up to me. Nights I couldn't breathe, mama prayed while I couldn't sleep. Muddy water in my veins, still I try to keep it clean. Talking to the sky, hoping somebody hear me. If you feel it too late.